Really proud of my team. I think first half, Clemson did about as well as any team that we've played against. They controlled the tempo. They had much more energy than us. They executed great. And we didn't have much to say at halftime except that we had to, match their energy, possibly play harder than them. And I thought it's the best half we played all year. To hold them to 21, after the way they dominated us the first half was really exciting. And then being in this environment, Sterling wasn't with us last year. Marcus was, sitting out, but we didn't have anybody ever go on the road and watch us play, let alone have people watch us play at home. And to be in this environment, playing in this championship in this special building with our fans so supportive, that's the most special moment we've all had, I think, since we've been there.
Questions for the players, please?
Marcus, were you guys familiar with Coach Brown? Obviously, coached the Knicks for 1 year. Season didn't go as I'm sure he would have liked. Did you guys kind of want to win here for him in a way? Give him some better memories of the Garden?
No, it's not for him. It's for Nick Russell and Sean Williams. Our seniors, they led us all season, and we owe it all to them. Every day before we come out, every game we pull our socks up as high as they can go for Sean, and we go out there and play for them too. It's like I said, they are leaders, and we follow after them.
For either of you guys, as Coach mentioned, huge difference in the second half. Other than just the energy or rebounding, can you put your finger on exactly how you guys were able to turn it around?
Sterling Brown come out and get huge offensive rebounds and get a couple stops and just bring in energy. He sprint the floor, you take away a defender. If the defender got to help off him and somebody else gets an open shot, he changed the game for us in the second half early, and then everybody fed off his energy.
You talked about the energy difference, but Clemson's field goal percentage went from 56 to 24. Were there strategic defensive adjustments that you all made as well?
No, we just we went out and just did what we talked about doing the first half. We did it more aggressive this half with the second half, and then led to them shooting 20 or getting 21 points or 20-some%. So we just did what we usually do. We just turned it up a little more.
Marcus, can you just talk about your performance underneath the basket? Kind of a tough game, and obviously it's kind you like.
The way I play, I owe it to my teammates. I can't get the ball to myself in the post, so just good post entries. Everybody cutting and doing a great job of feeding off of me, playing off of how I play, and knocking down shots if a double team comes. Just keeping the defense honest. And one-on-one, it was kind of a good night for me, I guess. But as far as team, I didn't do it by myself. Stat sheet said I had a good game, but Sterling played great. Nick Russell came through big. Ryan came through big. It was a real good team effort today.
Sterling, you guys were able to contain KJ McDaniels for the most part, 11 points, 7 rebounds. What makes him a difficult matchup on both sides, and then how are you guys able to contain him?
He does everything. He rebounds, he gets assists, points. He gets everything for them. We just tried to shrink the floor and bring everybody to the help side so he couldn't go off early.
Anything else for players in the back? You got to give her a minute.
Guys, that was probably some of the best you guys have dealt with dealing with adversity all season that I've seen. Talk about what was said in the locker room. Did Sean or Nick or Coach Brown say anything different or wanted anything different out of you guys in the second half?
No, we before Coach Brown even came into the locker room to talk to us, we had already had it figured out amongst ourselves. We knew what we did wrong out there. We knew what we had to do better. And like I said before, first 5 minutes of the second half, Sterling picked everybody up. He took it into his own hands. And when a player does that, one of us does that, we have no choice but to follow their lead. I mean, Sean and Nick are our leaders, but when it comes to bringing energy and bringing effort, any given night, all the players are leaders. You know, from Kevin Dunn to myself, it can happen from any one of us, and I think that was the changing factor.
Yeah, I heard that question. The last thing I would ever do is, you know, have a team win-win for me. I mean, I love this place. You know, I'm not happy with the job I did with the Knicks, but I grew up loving the Knicks and loving the Garden, and I wanted our guys to experience what I grew up, you know, looking forward to. You know, we had a disappointment 2 weeks ago, you know, on Sunday, like Clemson, like Memphis, like Florida State. And we were just so privileged to be in this tournament. I grew up realizing how great the NIT was. Fran Fischella explained it to our kids. Bobby Knight talked about it as well. But this is a phenomenal opportunity for our program and our kids to play in this environment. Now, you know, as a coach, you know, the way they responded and played the second half, I always talk about playing the right way. We played the right way, and I was thrilled to be part of that.
Zach?
Did you have any memories, Larry, you know, of that 1 year coming in here today, or not really?
Yeah, I have a lot of memories. You know, my best friend, or one of my best friends, is the coach. I came in here, a lot of people that were great to me and my family, you know, remembered me. They took me into the Knick locker room and showed me what they've done. You know, how many guys get to coach the New York Knicks? And when you grow up in this city and you love the game the way I do, you know, I was thrilled. I'm not happy with the job I did, but you know, every time I've ever been here, it's been a highlight for me. And then to have my kids come in here and play in this environment with SMU people here, you know, you can't believe how it was at SMU. You know, we'd have introductions last year, and I'd look at Tim Jankovich and I'd say, "What the hell are we doing here?" You know, and you know, if you said anything on the sideline, everybody heard it. And you had to be real careful. But now, you know, we're a major program playing for a major championship, and that's neat.
What did it mean to you to have Woody sitting behind the bench and some of his coaches sitting behind the bench supporting you guys tonight?
Oh, you know, I talk to him every day. He's a big part of my life, you know. Coach Knight and I talked about Woody before the game, and yeah, Bobby would never tell you who his favorite players are, but I know he's one of them. But he's gone through hell, and they got it going. Last I looked, you know, they're right there with a chance to make the playoffs, and you know, I'm thrilled for him. I don't know if they'll let me in the Garden tomorrow night. You know, I got Billy King, who I love, done a hell of a job with Jason. And, you know, I got a night off. I don't know. I'll either go see Les Mis or the Knicks.
Larry, can you talk about, I have two questions. One about the 9-1 run there that really got you guys going, and that was without Marcus and Nick Moore. Can you talk about how those guys, your other players played during that stretch? And
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask about Bobby Knight and what he might have said before the game.
Well, I'm always nervous when Little Nick's out of the game, or Marcus. You know, but Marcus has gotten in foul trouble a lot all year, and you know, our depth and size has really helped us. But you know, Tim kept saying to me, and Eric kept saying to me, and the whole staff, let's keep riding this, because our defensive intensity really picked up. And we did get easy baskets. It gave them a chance to rest, because Nick was really spent, Little Nick. So that's everything. You know, our depth has helped us all year, but I think tonight you can't see how effective they were based on the statistics, but on their contribution to us winning, it was great.
What did Bobby Knight say to you?
Oh, he, you know, when I got the UCLA job, I spent a week with him in Bloomington, and, you know, he just was a big part of, you know, my life from that day on. And I always remember Coach Smith, how highly he thought of Bobby. And I've always heard people say all these things about him, but I've coached a lot of his players, and they all were enamored by him. And I think, you know, when I introduced him and told him basically what I told you, and then he basically talked about his love affair with New York, you know, going back to Army and, you know, Indiana, and told our kids how lucky we were to be playing at this time. Like we've said, only 8 teams are playing now, and we happen to be one of them. I think they probably had to Google him up after I left. They Googled me up, so.
Right here, Coach.
Coach, we're talking about all of these older coaches. You've been around the game a long time, but what do you think about a young coach like Brad Brownell, and what do you see out of him?
Oh, he's great. You know, I got a little North Carolina background. I know what kind of job he did at Wilmington. I know what Jerry Wainwright, you know, thought about him, and I have great respect for Jerry. And that's a young team, man. They're really young. And they had a couple tough losses late in the year, or else they might have been in the NCAA tournament. It's not an easy league, but I think he's got it going in the right direction. You know, I'm amazed at the quality of coaching on the college level from guys like him. I mean, the young coaches on the college level are pretty darn good.
Okay, last question right here. Hold up to the mic.
The SMU locker room is open. Some of the guys are going out to watch the first half, so let me know if there's anybody specifically you need that's already gone out.
Coach, what would an NIT
championship mean to your already prestigious legacy?
Oh, wow. I hadn't even thought of that. You know, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but, you know, when you coach North Carolina, assistant coach in North Carolina, you're at UCLA and you're at Kansas, they don't look at the NIT like, you know, like some of the mid-major schools. But now I look at the NIT, and if you don't win your conference tournament, but you win your conference regular season, you get to go. And then there's a limited number of at-large teams that get to go. So, and there's 32 teams instead of 64. So wow, this is a quality championship. And we haven't had a lot of nice things happen at SMU for a long, long time. So if we were fortunate enough to win a championship like this, and I was part of it, it would be pretty neat.